lines.
Do you hear the
How?
That's the range in this.
I know I'm gonna
take a piss.
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll
You
test
go
the
take a
range.
pee-pee?
Let's see it. Let's see if it picks me up.
I'm gonna look at the phone, and if it starts lighting up, I'll be upset. I don't think the range is that far, actually. I don't think you can hear this man pissing. Oh, man, I can see that shit lighting up. Bro, pissing for show. What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck? It's a dog like fully twerking, bro. It's so uncomfortable. Oh man, I can see that shit lighting up. Bro, pissing for show.
Fucking sluts. That's why.
We're not schizophrenic. We're fighting fleas. The mosquitoes.
Welcome to
Brutal.
the MMA podcast.
How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Had a really good week so far. It's Thursday today. This will come out on a Friday. Went to BJJ twice this week. I think I've rubbed my entire tattoo off of my arm, actually, and I'm really worried about it. So I'm going to go to the tattoo artist and see if it's healing incorrectly, because there's splotches all over it that weren't there before.
Yeah, you really definitely should not
Roll
like we have, because I went with him twice this week, and this first time he just kind of didn't bring anything and tried to raw dog it, and it
with the
definitely did not
tattoo,
work.
and it there was some stuff going on with it, and I was like, uh-oh. And the instructor's like, you shouldn't be rolling. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I wrapped it up with a giant piece of tape second time, and I think it got worse because I took the tape off and some of the tattoo came with it. A little terrified, but I have been reassured by the woman I'm going out with that her tattoo looked like shit when it was healing, and then after it was done healing, like a week later, it looked really good. So it could be something to do with that.
Yeah, it still looks great. It just looks like the skin over top of it is a little weird, but you'll be fine, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna. Bitch. Sorry, that flea. That's a little.
There are mosquitoes literally everywhere here. It's actually pissing me off. That's
California's
honestly, I'm just gonna go like
killing me.
this. I'm just gonna. Why I'm wearing like fucking long sleeve and jeans right now is because apparently they have a million goddamn mosquitoes back here.
We're getting murdered. I don't know what's going on. We live in California. There should be no mosquitoes that live here. Anyways,
what are you talking about? God, they're mosquitoes.
I'm just used
everywhere.
to I don't know. I don't remember California ever having mosquitoes. I never got mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes love to eat my ass.
Pause.
Resume.
I don't like that. All right. Let's eject and throw the disc away. Cool.
All right.
We're gonna start off by talking about Dana White's Contender Series, my favorite show to watch on a Tuesday, and I want to first shout out Ramirez. Even though he did lost, I really like his story in the UFC. Came straight out of prison, started training for MMA, and went 7-0. Just came up against a really hard obstacle in Carlos Prates. He was the last guy, the main event that I showed you.
Yeah.
Crisp hands, amazing striking, really good showing overall from him. So excited to see him in the UFC. And then Oki went off in his fight. Amazing straight shots, and his kicking game was really solid too. I mean,
it was
fast as
crazy.
hell. So really excited to see both of them get into the UFC. They both deserve contracts, and they both got contracts as they should have. I'm surprised Prates was the underdog, just because I understand it, because the fighter he was fighting was undefeated, but I guess it didn't matter in this case. The experience trumps undefeated, in my opinion, for MMA. So let's just jump straight into UFC fights. Yeah. UFC Paris is this weekend. We're pretty hyped for it. It's going to be at like 10 a.m. for prelims, 12:30 for main card.
Honestly, I'm happy that it's not at 2 a.m. again. That
not
was
a single
disaster last time.
Yeah. Really quickly, want to shout out Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith won this last weekend. I did mention him in the last podcast, but I listened to his podcast today. It came out yesterday, and he went into detail about what he was feeling in the fight, etc. And it was a really cool insight into like what a fighter feels as they're fighting.
That's cool.
So I'd recommend you listen to it. It's on Believe You Me podcast, the most recent episode. I think it's 507. It's just really cool. Michael Bisping basically breaks it down with Anthony Smith, what happened in the fight, how he was feeling, what he felt going into the third round after his eye ballooned up and he could barely see. it was such a great fight. So I love Lionheart. So it's really cool to see
no,
the insight.
he's been interesting as I've been watching him a couple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has very contradictory opinions to the MMA media and fan base. So people see him as controversial, but he's a legend of the sport in my opinion. So
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
to move on from there, let's talk about the three most important matchups of UFC Paris, which
First off,
is
we got Benoit.
Benoit Saint Denis, the God
Yep.
of War, and if I'm going to be completely honest, the guy he's facing, I don't remember his name.
Thiago Moises.
Oh, Thiago Moises.
Thiago.
You said that very wrong. Thiago Moises is a longtime training partner of a lot of really big UFC legends and a really good UFC fighter. Has the experience over Benoit, but Benoit is such a raging, surging young prospect that I kind of see him overtaking.
How old is he?
Benoit's like 25.
Seriously?
Maybe 26.
The guy looks like a fucking 32-year-old monster.
And he's already been in the military and was special operative.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, he's going to go far.
It's funny. I think the first fight I showed you with Benoit was the time that he should have been stopped. Remember that one fight where it went way too long and the ref should have stopped it like 8 times?
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier screaming, "Stop the fight! Stop the fight!" into the arena.
I remember that.
That was Benoit Saint Denis.
And he was just getting.
He was in welterweight though,
yeah.
weight above. His new lightweight division, he's undefeated. He's smashing everybody. And I think that's going to continue. I've got Benoit Saint Denis by like a first round knockout. I think he puts Thiago Moises out into the bleachers, honestly. So
that makes sense. Okay.
What's your opinion on that?
I think Benoit's going to win
by a submission, TKO decision.
I think submission. You know, he's gotten a lot of submissions. He's obviously pretty good at them.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's gotten. I think his most recent win was a knockout.
I think he got TKO against the 9-year undefeated Bonfim brother, Ismail Bonfim. So who's an amazing surging prospect, but Benoit just outclassed him in every way. So
no, for sure. Yeah, that's I do think he probably gets that submission. And again, I was right. Last time he did win by TKO. So I don't know. I think he's going to continually just go for submissions probably as he goes forward, and then if he catches the knockout that he does,
I think he's got both. He's got power. He's got submission skills. He's very talented. And honestly, I never thought I'd see the side of him. I'm gonna kill this fucking. Boom.
We scared him off.
Okay. Have you seen that fight where he does that? There's a fight of a fighter who he's here, he's out of box, and he goes, and he head kicks the guy.
That sounds like something Nate Diaz
and knocks him
would
out.
Do. Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's funny.
I literally saw this little piece of garbage bite me. Anyways, let's get back into the fights. Rose Namajunas versus Manon Fiorot. I have Manon Fiorot personally. France home crowd favorite. She is the underdog in this fight. Rose Namajunas has kind of had a weird spout of fights recently, and I just kind of see her regressing, at least in her style, against Zhang Weili and both Carla Esparza. One of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life. She agrees as well, so maybe she'll push the pace a lot more in this fight. But Manon Fiorot is such a surging talent, especially with the France MMA community. So
yeah, I mean, I'm
gonna kill that crow.
Yeah, we should get a pellet gun and just.
I'm gonna chuck that dumbbell. Oh, if you want, you can hold one side of the barbell. I hold the other side of the barbell, and we could
just
throw it.
Javelin that bitch. Just stick him into the side of your house and just
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I have a feeling that Rose is gonna kind of come back to where she has been, because like he said, she's kind of been struggling, at least especially this last fight.
I think she lost against Zhang Weili too, to be honest.
So, really? Yeah. I mean, so that's why I think she was I think she's dipped down, and I feel like she's too young and too like talented to like just kind of drop off the face of the earth after like being so high up in the UFC ladder.
I've seen weirder things.
So like maybe you could be totally right, but I have a feeling that she's probably done her due diligence, and
I hope so.
I think she'll come back.
I would love to see Rose high kick knockout again.
That would
she did Zhang Weili in their first fight, and I haven't seen that in a while. Rose Namajunas is not a very active fighter, and that's one thing I worry about.
That's also something it's been forever.
Has risen to almost a title shot if she beats Rose, and that's within a period of since Rose maybe fought once or twice. So it's really interesting to see what will happen.
Yeah.
But from there, with the main event, Cyril Gane versus Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak, I think he's Moldovan, to my knowledge. That might be completely incorrect. But regardless, the polar bear, Sergey Spivak, mostly a ground and pound type of fighter, pulls you to the ground, sucks you down deep, and
whoa, pause.
We're really pausing a lot today. We just got on dial. God, okay.
All right, resume.
All
right,
thank you. I appreciate the reverse. That really helps me out.
You're welcome.
Accusations and all. But he's really good at pulling you to the ground and beating you up with the ground and pound. So, I was gonna say something, but we're really avoiding the pauses. Okay. Who do you see winning that fight? I genuinely have Cyril Gane winning. I think he skirts the outside, lands the bigger shots, and ends up taking him out maybe in the second round, maybe with a knee or an elbow, something in close, while Spivak's trying to grab his legs.
Yeah, I would say the same. You know, I feel like because his past, like his most recent 4 fights were win-loss, but his 2 losses, they were completely like fair. You know, it was John Jones
against legends.
And yeah, it was
Ngannou, it was a close decision, and he got out wrestled.
Yeah.
And then against John Jones, it was a close decision, and he got wrestled.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about Spivak's wrestling game here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely
Gane has struggled with. So we'll see how he comes up to it. I'm really hoping he makes improvements because we know what Ngannou and Gane's coach both said. They both had the same coach, and he said Ngannou's the hardest working talent he's ever been with, and Cyril Gane's the most talented but lazy talent or fighter he's ever been with. So I'm really hoping he brings the talent and the hard work. That's what he needs to really cement his game. And if he loses this, I think he's just a gatekeeper of the division at that point, and that's a really big deal.
Yeah, honestly, I have a feeling we're just gonna.
He can't be another Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades has literally. He mounts himself up to a title shot, and every time he's like 1 fight before a title shot, he fights the number 1 contender, loses. Fights the number 1 contender, loses. It's happened. Yeah. He lost against Derek Lewis, then he won 4 fights in a row. Then he fought Sergey Spivak just most recently, and then lost against him. And then he also fought Ngannou twice, got knocked out both times by him. So it's just one of those things. He hasn't really gotten the steam enough to win a title fight. And Curtis Blades has all the skills and more. Has some of the most disgusting ground and pound I've ever seen. He absolutely brutally murdered one of my favorite fighters of all time, Alistair Overeem. And it was crazy to me. I thought, okay, well, Curtis Blades beat the hell out of Alistair, and Alistair knocked out Sergey Spivak. And my math should be correct. He should be able to destroy a guy like Pavlovich. He didn't. He got wobbled and rocked and knocked out by Pavlovich. So,
really?
MMA math sometimes just doesn't work out. So
yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
And that might happen in this fight as well, because MMA math should suggest that Spivak wins, right? No, it should suggest that Spivak wins, just come from the ground, because any ground fighter Cyril Gane's really faced, he lost against.
That's so interesting to me. Like, why you would never really train ground.
The thing is, he has submissions. He's trained ground, but he doesn't have wrestling.
Interesting.
Like his takedown defense is there. It's just really lackluster. Once he gets to his back, he can't get up. Once he's on the mat, he can't get up. But he's very good at being able to skirt around the edges and not get taken down in the first place, usually. So it is what it is.
That makes sense, yeah. So I have a feeling Gane wins, though, to be honest. I have a feeling he comes back, he gets another win, and, you know, we'll see what he does in the future, but I have a feeling for right now.
Well, I am antsy under this table. I'm not kidding.
Can tell.
Look at my feet.
No, there are mosquitoes fucking everywhere.
I'm gonna flip over right now. All right.
You're gonna regret having no socks.
This is why they say always wear socks before talking to another man. Anyways,
I'm sure they say that.
Yeah, that's something to say. We're gonna get into a segment where we go over our verdict picks, and then we'll place who's the winner at the end of the next episode.
Yep.
So, my first pick of the night is Morgan Charrier versus Manolo Zacchini. These are both UFC newcomers. One came from Cage Warriors. One came from an unknown promotion in Italy. So I've got Morgan winning probably by knockout in the second round. What do you got?
Let's see. I have personally right now I have Morgan knockout second round.
Okay.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Piggyback.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but they're like brand new, so
then
we'll
you have
see.
William Gomez versus Giannis Gamori.
Now this is funny.
I got decision William Gomez. I'm just going with the safe pick.
All right. What I did I also did decision, but I did Giannis, and the reason is I have never seen a disparity with the fighters this high.
15-time underdog.
15-1. Like we were just looking at some, if like with the different XP multipliers and stuff, and off of about 500, I would have 50,000 if I were to just bet on a submission from this guy. It's just crazy. So I thought, you know what, for fun, I'll pick Giannis decision, and if he wins, I get a fuck ton of shit. It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy. He'll be mad.
There's no chance of me winning if that happens. Yeah, I do have an underdog pick here. Bogdan Guskov versus Volkan Ozdemir. I've seen Volkan Ozdemir lose against most heavy strikers. Mm-hmm. So I see it happening again. Guskov is a guy that's coming from Russia, and he throws heavy hands. He's kind of an unknown prospect, and I kind of see him getting in there with Volkan and maybe landing a really big shot, getting the knockout. And I believe he's one of 9 fighters that are from France. No, he's from Russia. Flags flipped up. Same colors, different shapes, different sizes.
Just made a lot of people angry.
Yeah, I usually do. And then, who do you got from that? You got Guskov as well?
Yeah, I put Guskov knockout second round.
And then from there, Benoit Saint-Denis, we've already said this as well. Knockout first round for Benoit. He has
submission second round.
From there, I have Manon Ferrell versus...
I put Rose decision.
I've got decision for Manon Ferrell.
Yeah, it's
probably a decision.
It's probably going to be a decision, to be honest.
And then main event, Cyril Gane, second round knockout.
I put fourth round knockout, actually.
Okay, late one.
Yeah.
That'll be similar to Tai Tuivasa, where he breaks him down, exactly. And then the third round finishes him off.
That's what I kind of figured.
I think Gane lands a bigger shot in the second, though, to be honest.
You might be right. I think I
think what happens is Spivak gets impatient, shoots a takedown, gets kneed in the fucking brainstem.
That might happen. I think either that. I feel like if Spivak just goes for takedowns and takedowns and takedowns, then it will delay it. I think if Gane can win off the takedown,
you think that was Sean O'Malley too, because Aljamain was famous on your takedowns. But guess what? Aljamain found the pocket.
Well, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think there might be a chance. But if he gets him to the takedown, and I also don't know how Spivak wrestles. So if he wrestles, he gets him in the takedown, and he just clinches, essentially, and they hold together.
That's not what Spivak does. He only has finishes when he gets to the ground.
We'll see then. We'll see. But those are my picks, so we'll see.
And we'll let you guys know who won that in the next episode at the end of it. And we're going to finish up this episode because I'm getting eaten alive by bugs.
Fucking mosquitoes everywhere.
Dog, this is so bad. I'm literally... What solves bug bites? Like, what do you rub on bug bites?
Anti-bug spray.
No, I mean once you have them, you spray
it. Anti-itch cream.
Oh my god, this itch is so bad.
It's gonna be. You're gonna wake up. He's gonna totally wake up at like 2 a.m. just scratching his goddamn feet. You know why? You know how I know? Oh my god! Just rub them on the turf.
Oh no, that would. I think they'll start bleeding. Oh, that feels so good though. Fuck!
Just rolling past the camera like a fucking snail.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.